You know Motorola, everyone knows Motorola. They've been making phones for years, but for the last few years, they haven't been making really good phones. I mean, they've been making good phones, but they've been mid-range stuff, $200, $300 phones like the Moto G or Moto E series. And they're great, but they're not the best phones you can buy. Until now, anyway. Now, they have the Motorola Edge Plus, which is its new flagship, its first flagship in years. And this thing's seriously impressive. So let's dive in. It starts with the screen, which is where the name comes from, that Edge Plus thing, because it's a regular phone, but then the screen just kind of goes all the way to the edges and then past the edges. Motorola says it actually curves almost 90 degrees down the side of the phone. The screen itself is a 6.7-inch display, which is the largest screen Motorola's ever put in a phone. It's a 21:9 aspect ratio though, so it actually feels really nice in your hand. It doesn't feel like you're holding this giant, massive slate. The screen has a 90 Hz refresh rate, so everything should look super smooth. Although you can switch that down to only automatically enable or just run it at 60 Hz in order to save battery life. It's only an FHD Plus panel, which is lower than some of the ultra-high resolution displays that we've seen in other phones, but Motorola says that's intentional. It wants to make sure they can get as much battery life as it can out of it, and that means running at a little bit of a lower resolution than some of the other competitors. It still looks great though. Colors are bright, the scrolling is super smooth thanks to that refresh rate, and it's enjoyable to use. The Edge display isn't entirely cosmetic though. Motorola's doing a couple cool things with it. So the first is something that they call edge lighting, where the edge of the phone can actually light up when the phone is, say, face down on a table. So if you get a notification come in or a call come in, the edges will light up so that you can, see from across the room that someone's calling you. It also lights up with alarms or when you plug the battery in. There's also some cool gestures. You can double tap on the side to turn off the Edge display if you just don't like the way it looks in an app, although if you don't like the Edge display, don't buy a phone called the Edge Plus, maybe? And you can also use it to swipe between apps. Motorola also says you'll be able to use it as a sort of trigger when playing games. So you'll be able to use it as like shoulder buttons if you're running around in Fortnite, but that's not quite working just yet. The Edge Plus has stereo speakers. There's a speaker on the bottom, which is the main speaker. There's the speaker on top for the earpiece, which doubles as the second speaker for stereo sound. And in the very brief time I've used it, it's pretty loud. Since it's 2020, there's obviously no bezels or notches. There's just a single hole punch camera in the top left corner. It's a 25 megapixel camera, which works with the same quad pixel technology as a bunch of Motorola's other phones. Motorola hasn't just focused on the screen though. The entire phone is a top-notch Android device. There's a Snapdragon 865 processor, which is Qualcomm's best, fastest, newest processor. And it also has full 5G support. It actually supports both sub-6 gigahertz and millimeter wave 5G. And Motorola says this should be one of the fastest mobile devices that you'll be able to buy. Obviously, we haven't been able to quite put that to the test yet. It's going to depend a lot on, where you live and what kind of 5G connection is. But they're really going in that this will be a top-of-the-line phone. 12 gigabytes of RAM, 256 gigabytes of storage, a 5,000 milliamp hour battery that Motorola says should last up to 2 full days. They're really not cutting any corners here. And that includes the headphone jack. Still got one. The top line specs also extend to the cameras, and again, Motorola's not pulling any punches here. The main camera on the Edge Plus is an 108 megapixel sensor. It's the biggest and best camera sensor that you can put in a smartphone. It's similar to the one that Samsung's using on its top line monster, the S20 Ultra. It can shoot 6K video, and you can either shoot it at a full 108 megapixels if you really want to crop in and get the details, or you can use it with quad pixel technology, which shoots at a mere 27 megapixels. The horror. As for the other two cameras, there's also an 8 megapixel 3x zoom telephoto lens if you really want to zoom in and get close on something or shoot something from really far away that you'd still like to see at a normal size. And there's an 117 degree ultra wide at 16 megapixels that also has a really nice macro mode. You can really punch in and get some really good details from small stuff, like a coin. Things aren't quite finalized yet with the Edge Plus. The camera's hardware and software are still, being tweaked a little bit, so we'll have to put it through the full tests once the device releases for real, but on paper, it sounds impressive. The Edge Plus fast charges over USB-C with a wire at 15 watts. You can also fast charge it wirelessly at 15 watts too, if you have a wireless charger that supports that. You can also wirelessly charge another device like a smartwatch or a pair of headphones using the Edge Plus, but that only goes at 5 watts. Now for the big number, the price. Motorola is selling this for $999, which puts it about in line with basically every other major flagship phone. In the US, it'll only be on Verizon. Motorola says that it's making the decision in part because it wants to rely on Verizon's network, especially its 5G millimeter wave network, which is a particular area of 5G that Verizon has been focusing on a lot more than other carriers. But still, if you don't have Verizon and you think this phone's cool, it's a little disappointing to hear, especially in 2020, where we usually don't see these kind of carrier lockdowns anymore. Right now, it's a new flagship phone from Motorola, which we haven't seen in years, and that's just really exciting. Obviously, we're gonna have to spend a lot more time with this when it comes out to put it through its paces, see if it really does hold up next to the S20s and iPhones of the world.
As you might have guessed, we actually filmed this video a few months ago, and in that time, Motorola's actually given us the release date for the Edge Plus. It'll be out on May 14th in the US, it'll cost again $999, and it'll be exclusive to Verizon. Stay safe and keep doing what you're doing.